One take, so busy I'm not even in it. Life is strange. Max Caulfield wakes up in the middle of a storm. She makes her way towards the lighthouse and witnesses an enormous tornado tearing up her hometown of Arcadia Bay.
Holy shit.
Just as the lighthouse falls on Max, she wakes up in her photography class at Blackwell Academy. Her class is taught by the world-renowned photographer Mark Jefferson, who chastises Max for not submitting a photograph for the Everyday Heroes photography competition.
Mr. Jefferson really expects me to enter.
Max rushes to the restroom to compose herself, I gotta pee, and sees a butterfly land on a trash can and snaps a quick pic of it.
What else are you taking quick pics of there?
Sometimes I just like to sit in the bathroom and wait and see who comes in. Suddenly, Nathan Prescott runs into the restroom. Max hides behind the bathroom stalls as another girl with blue hair enters and proceeds to blackmail Nathan. Things get a bit spicy, and Nathan pulls a gun on the blue-haired girl.
Well, who you're messing around with?
Where'd you get that? What are you—
Just shut up and kiss me.
The two struggle, but the blue-haired girl is accidentally shot. Max reaches out to the girl and suddenly finds herself back in her photography class.
What the fuck?
Through experimentation, Max realizes she has the ability to rewind time a short amount. She also can freeze time and travel back in time through the use of pictures. And basically, she can do whatever the plot wants her to do at any point.
Back to the bathroom we go.
In order to save the blue-haired girl. She does it. Yay.
Yay.
Max exits the school and greets her friend Warren, returning his USB. Thanks for the porn. Nathan storms over to Max and threatens her before throwing her in front of a car. The car stops just in time and the blue-haired girl is behind the wheel. Max recognizes the blue-haired girl as her childhood friend Chloe and hops in the car to escape Nathan as Warren gets his ass fucking handed to him.
Max and Chloe reconnect and swing on by Chloe's home. Looking through some pictures, Max recognizes a girl named Rachel Amber, who has been missing for around 6 months. Chloe explains that she and Rachel were best friends, and she's desperate to find her. Max shows Chloe the picture of the butterfly, but Chloe's not very honest, and she steals it and puts it in her pocket.
I'm gonna save this for later, that's totally not a foreshadowing in the plot.
And then, Chloe's stepfather, David, comes in, and he's head of security at the Blackwell Academy.
You been token up again in here?
Oh yeah, guns, weed. You were tripping balls.
This shit good.
The girls head to an old spot they used to hang out when they were kids.
Isn't this awesome sauce?
And Max recognizes it as the lighthouse from her vision. Oh. Chloe sits on a bench outside the lighthouse and decides now's a good time to do some exposition dumping. Chloe reveals the truth about Nathan. He drugged her and kidnapped her, but she managed to escape and is now blackmailing him in order to pay off her debts. I feel like you should just go to the cops at that point, but I can get some money out of it. Max decides it's time to black out and has another vision of the tornado hitting Arcadia Bay. It's revealed the tornado will hit the town in 4 days.
It's only 4 days away.
Chloe pulls her out of it and Max explains her vision and the time-tripping powers.
Oh man, this sucks. Snowflakes?
Suddenly, it starts snowing, despite the weather being quite warm. Something's up.
The next morning, Max swings by the diner, which is run by Chloe's mum.
Nice try, Nancy Drew.
She proves to Chloe that her powers are totally legit,
Amazeballs.
and Chloe leads her to a super
secret
secret hangout spot, a junkyard.
It represents me.
Chloe reveals a gun to Max, and the two proceed to shoot some bottles and mess with the fabric of space and time using Max's powers.
Jesus, I shot myself!
This is why you shouldn't play with the powers of space and time, because Max overexerts herself and collapses and has another vision of the coming storm.
She shakes it off and grabs the firearm to take a crack at the bottles. Suddenly, a shady-looking dude strolls up. It's Frank Bowers, the friendly neighborhood drug dealer.
Can I sell you some crack there, kids?
Frank threatens Chloe as she owes him money, and Chloe notices he's
did
wearing
you
an
get that
armband
bracelet?
that belongs to Rachel Amber. Things spice up and Max pulls a gun on Frank, who simmers down and saunters off. The pair head back to Blackwell Academy, where Max sees a fellow student, Kate Marsh, is extremely upset after talking to the teacher, Mark Jefferson. Max's class is interrupted, as something is happening at the school dorms.
When isn't there?
Yo, some crazy shit is going down at the girls' dorm.
Max arrives just in time to see Kate throw herself off the roof of the dorms. Using her powers, Max is somehow able to reverse and freeze time. The plot requires I freeze time, I better do it. She makes her way up to Kate and convinces her to step down off the roof. Although you can also fuck it up and watch her swan dive into the pavement if you choose. That night, Chloe and Max break into the school. They head into the principal's office and start snooping. The pair find files showing weird drawings by Nathan Prescott, which mention Rachel Amber and the dark room. After all that snooping and sneaking, they decide it's a good time to go for a swim in the school's pool,
Cowabunga!
and are nearly caught by Chloe's stepfather and head of security, David. The girls manage to slip out and crash at Chloe's house.
At breakfast, Chloe's mum gives Max a photo of the girls when they were younger
Wowzer.
and discusses William, Chloe's father.
At least 9 inches.
Also, for some reason, all the birds are dying outside.
That's fucking ominous.
Chloe makes a scene, which allows Max to do some more snooping on David's computer.
Max the hacker strikes again.
Turns out Rachel Amber and drug dealer Frank were pretty close, so the girls decide to pay his motorhome a visit.
We have to be casual ninjas here.
They bust in and find more evidence of Rachel and Frank's relationship, as well as a logbook of all his deals. That seems like the number one way to get caught.
Max heads back to her dorm and whips out the photo of herself and Chloe as kids. She hears noises coming from the picture, and by focusing on it, is sent back in time to when it was taken. Turns out the day the picture was taken was the same day Chloe's father, William, was killed in a car accident. Max hides William's keys and convinces him to take the bus, saving his life and altering the future.
How many films have we had where altering the past is bad?
Have you seen Back to the Future? Max returns to her present time and is surrounded by a new group of friends.
Hello? Are you even listening, Maxine?
Concerned for Chloe, Max heads to her house and is greeted by William, who calls Chloe over. Chloe rolls up to Max in a wheelchair, having been paralyzed from the neck down.
Told you that messing with the past was gonna backfire.
Yeah, but look at these sweet wheels I got. They're chrome.
They still spin when I stop.
Turns out the alternate reality Max made by saving William resulted in Chloe being in a car crash. See, this is why we can't have nice things.
Max also discovers that Chloe's family is drowning in medical bills,
We could buy a few mansions for what it all costs.
and Chloe's condition is worsening.
God, she's becoming more crippled by the day.
Chloe knows this and asks Max to give her a lethal dosage of morphine, determined to go out on her own terms.
All you have to do is crank up the IV to 11.
Jump off the roof like the other one. Roll off the roof and hit the barrier. After murdering her best friend, Max stares at the photo of herself and Chloe when they were young and is whisked back in time to that day again.
This time she lets William drive, which returns everything back to the way it was 4 hours ago and has no impact on any future events in the game whatsoever.
Now you suddenly want to kiss me?
Chloe and Max head back to Blackwell Academy and break into Nathan's room. They dig around a bit and find Nathan's phone.
Oh yes, little phone.
Nathan stumbles upon them breaking into his room and stealing his stuff, but Warren headbutts him and somehow Nathan is the bad guy in this situation. The dynamic duo head back to Frank's RV on the beach, where there are slightly more than average dead whales washed up on shore.
There's more than average.
There's at least one every day, right? I reckon you just give it the old dynamite treatment.
The locals love that.
Ooh, fireworks. They steal his client book in order to decode his logbook.
With all this evidence in hand, the girls use Nathan's phones, David files, and Frank's logbook to piece together the location of the suspicious farm that Nathan has been visiting. At the farmhouse, it's time for some more snooping. They discover a staircase that leads into a basement under the barn. In the basement, they find the dark room Nathan mentioned. It's a photography studio that seems to be in good shape with tons of high-end equipment. So Mans has a hobby? I didn't think that was a crime. Inside a cabinet are a bunch of red binders labeled after girls at Blackwell Academy. That is a bit creepy.
Yeah.
I only keep males on my shelf. Chloe and Max look through one labeled Kate and another labeled Rachel. The binders contain pictures of the girls tied up, drugged, and in provocative positions. This is why you shouldn't do drugs, kids.
One picture in particular stands out to Chloe. It shows a rather dead-looking Rachel in the junkyard. The girls run back to the junkyard and find the spot and start digging. They don't get far before they discover Rachel's corpse. Chloe breaks down as Max comforts her. Back at the school, the cool kids are holding an end-of-the-world party as 2 moons hang ominously in the sky. Chloe and Max crash the party looking for Nathan.
Have you seen Nathan?
I just vaped some dank OG buds, so I can barely see you.
They suspect he is the one behind it all, and think he's going to try and kidnap another girl at the party, Victoria. At the party, the girls bump into a very drunk Warren, who takes a picture with Max. The pair find Victoria, but she tells them that Nathan isn't at the party. On stage, their teacher, Mark Jefferson, crowns Victoria as the winner of the Everyday Heroes Photography Contest.
Go Victoria! You deserve this award so much!
Yay! What a bitch. The girls leave the party, but on the way out, Chloe receives a text from Nathan saying that after he's done, there will be no evidence of Rachel. Did the two girls take the binders with them? How have they not talked to the police yet? We found a secret bunker with a bunch of provocative pictures of girls who obviously been drugged and a dead woman. Why are they not going to the police? Rushing back to the junkyard, Rachel's body is still intact. Suddenly, a mysterious figure injects a syringe into Max's neck, knocking her out. As Max falls unconscious, she sees Chloe get shot and turns around to find the mysterious figure is none other than her teacher, Mark Jefferson. Max wakes up in the dark room under the barn. She learns that Nathan was Jefferson's protege and accidentally gave Rachel an overdose. Nathan was about to break, so Jefferson killed him and plans on using him as a scapegoat. What a dick.
Jefferson throws Max's journal at her feet, and she uses a picture taken in her class to travel back in time.
The eyes are the windows to the soul, which are the windows to the mind, which are the windows.
She warns David that Jefferson is a sick son of a bitch and hands Jefferson her photograph for the Everyday Heroes Contest. Max jumps back to the present. Jefferson has been arrested, and Max has won the Everyday Heroes competition and gets to visit San Francisco to have her picture displayed alongside the other winners.
Wowzer, Max.
While at the gallery, Max has another vision of the storm. Max rings Chloe and finds out that nothing has changed, and now the tornado has reached Arcadia Bay.
Max finds her winning picture and using it, goes back in time and tears it up, hoping that will stop the impending doom.
Sorry, San Francisco. Chloe comes first.
After she tears up the picture, she's flung back into the present and wakes up in the darkroom again with Jefferson standing above her. Just as Jefferson is about to give Max a lethal dose, David shows up and beats Jefferson down. Max realizes that Chloe is still dead in this timeline, so she calls Warren to ask for the picture she took the other night at the party. Max steals Jefferson's car and heads into town.
The tornado is right by Arcadia Bay, and Warren is bunkered down in the diner, run by Chloe's mum. Max uses Warren's photo to travel back to the night of the party and warns Chloe about what will happen if they go to the party. Max convinces Chloe to leave Jefferson and let David take him in. Yes. Max is flung back to the present and stands with Chloe at the edge of the water, looking out towards the approaching tornado.
The girls head for the lighthouse, but Max passes out. Again. She has a long and convoluted dream recapping the game's story. Here's some extra padding for you. Enjoy.
You're a real woman, not a little girl like Max.
Max wakes up with Chloe at the lighthouse as the tornado is just about to hit Arcadia Bay. Max realizes that the storm is a manifestation of her messing with time.
This is my storm.
And it's all her fault that everyone is going to die. Yeah, sure.
I get it.
Chloe realizes that everything started the day she was supposed to be shot by Nathan in the school bathroom. She gives Max back the picture of the butterfly Max took while in the bathroom. Seems she was just carrying that around in her back pocket for a week. Max has to make a final choice. Does she go back in time and allow Chloe to die in the bathroom, resetting everything that has happened and saving everyone in Arcadia Bay? Or does she tear up the photo and sacrifice an entire town for one person named Chloe?
So wait, the entire game is basically do all this shit, and if you choose option A, none of it ever actually happened and it doesn't matter. Or option B, where even though you chose all of this stuff, everyone's gonna die anyway, so it doesn't matter. She can't do anything when she goes back in time. She just has to kind of let things play out. So she has to let Chloe die, she has to let Kate die, and she has to let Jefferson get away with fiddling around with the girls.
Yes, this whole game has really been an exposition into how terrible the world is and how little you can do about it.
The true loser was the player all along.